Hemp Boca. Products of purest natural ingredients and providing a safe alternative method for relief from many symptoms, creating a healthier lifestyle without the use of opioids. Use Hemp Boca products for improved mental health and overall well-being. It's safe, legal, and non-psychoactive. Our pure and high-quality CBD is from clean industrial hemp, then extracted slowly over days to produce the strongest and most effective products on the market, made in the U.S. with no synthetic ingredients. Committed to bringing our customers the highest grade CBD oil on the market. Our industrial hemp, it's organic with no solvents and pesticides, gluten-free, vegan, full spectrum, and third-party double lab tested. Our top priority is your health and wellness, and we are confident you will love our products and the amazing relief so you can enjoy the things you love to do. Try our products and start living a healthier lifestyle. Hemp Boca. Good health and good sense are two of life's greatest blessings.
One of the key principles
Hemp
we like to teach our members at Phil's Stock World is be the house, not the gambler. Stand around a casino, and every day you'll see thousands of people walk through the doors and play various games of skill and chance, and yet none of them are likely to ever be as rich as the person who owns the casino. That, over the long run, the odds are always in his favor. This is not gambling, it's a mathematical fact. How would you like us to teach you how to use this simple mathematical concept to turn investing from gambling into earning by teaching you to be the house? This is the key to learning how to be a true investor in the stock market and not just a hapless trader of stocks. Or, to sum it all up, we'll teach you to be the house and not the gambler.
Hi everybody, thank you for joining us. We are live at the Delray Beach Art Gallery. It's beautiful here. It's the Hemp Boca Show. I am here with two great guests. We have Phil Davis from philstockworld.com as a co-host today in place of Jean. She is on a trip throughout Thailand, and we'll be discussing that. And here we have Vern McMillan from EBC, Every Ball Counts, out in Palm Beach. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Appreciate it. Hi. And so we wanted to get into Jean. Jean has been, as you know, been out in Thailand for a couple weeks now, and probably another week or so. And yeah, I know, it's crazy. But she had the privilege of visiting this place called Golf Town. And I went on, I don't know if you had a chance to go on their website or especially the Facebook page, but it is the first and the largest golf training institute in Thailand, and it's only been about 2 or 3 weeks old. And so the part of the idea of the reason why that Jean's out there is because not only that we're working on trying to help work with them on CBD products and things like that, but to also try to caveat that in the athletic industry. So she went out there and visited with the owners of it's called Golf Town, and so that she was able to discuss with them off camera about CBD and the recent legalization of marijuana for medical use only. But she had the privilege of video. Taken 2 videos throughout the facilities, and it really shows like from beginning to like pro, and I know, Vern, you do this yourself. I mean, pretty much you train from A to Z out at EBC. What do you think as far as the way they're doing it indoors, really not out on a golf course per se? It's more electronic, where they're doing their exercises. Would you feel that it would? What do you think as far as the effectiveness, based on your knowledge and how you train?
What we do is we train within the environment that the player has to play. So we make it as close to golf as possible. We don't hit balls on a driving range. It says every skill that they go through and every part of skill training they go through is based on them being able to play the game at the highest level. So no, we don't have simulators or anything like that. They follow a structure where each stage has a goal, and each goal goes towards their final goal, which is to be able to perform on the golf course.
Right.
So everything's outdoors other than initially indoors, where they do the exercises that they need to be able to do to improve their motor patterns. So it wouldn't be something that I'd endorse as far as being able to get juniors all the way through to PGA Tour level.
But, well, hang on, because I understand what you're saying, but your focus is more on teaching basically pro-level golfers to be their best. So you're starting at a way higher level, but what about the people who are breaking in and learning the game, like executives who want to get good at golf or whatever? I mean, is there a validity to that sort of mechanical,
Well,
form?
the thing is that if you want to get better at hitting on a simulator, then that's what you practice to do. If you want to get better at playing golf, then that's what you do.
So you don't recommend it even for people who are lower
Well,
level?
it depends. It's not going to improve their ability to play golf on the golf course compared to if they're trained to do that.
Okay.
It'll improve their ability to get better on a simulator.
Right.
And I've been on a simulator and I'm pretty good, but
Yeah.
I am not that good on the golf course.
Well, hang on. So all right, so let's
Because I'm trying to picture myself, because I've never played. I'm gonna be
I
horrible.
have played. I'm not really a fan of golf, but I mean, I'm
gonna be horrible no matter what.
I've actually in the business, frankly. But so here's my question, though. See, to me, I mean, obviously with baseball, you know, when you want to practice hitting, you swing at pitches.
Yeah.
And they're not real pitches. They're just a pitching machine or a pitcher who's just tossing them at you. But the idea is to work on your swing more so than actually hitting a ball and scoring and so on and so forth.
Right.
Now, for driving, let's say, right, my opportunities to drive on a course are limited, whereas if I have 100 balls, I get 100 swings to practice.
That may be fine to cement a pattern, but we build it from the ground up, where we teach the motor pattern without the ball and club, and then we introduce the ball and club where it doesn't matter where the ball goes. You're still working on the motor pattern, you're just introducing the ball and club, and then we move forward from there onto distance control.
See,
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
this is cool. I mean, I'm not advocating
So this is-
Yep.
the other. I'm just saying that's like the way
When I-
millions of people
yeah.
are trained to play golf. is
when
by
I was watching the
hitting
video,
balls.
which we're gonna play shortly, and then going on their website stuff. See, for me, if something was that here, I would be interested in joining just to get the feel of my stance, the swing, your drives and all, and then I would take that knowledge of what I learned from the institute and then moved it out into
but Vern's saying you're
to
not
a
really
golf
learning
course.
anything.
But see, the thing is that it's not really golf. So what you're learning is the swing is only one aspect of the total picture. And what we've found by assessing people over a number of years is that it's really not a big factor. It's important to get it right, but the issue today in golf is that that's what everyone spends time on, and not learning how to play golf and how to score and what inhibits them from scoring. And that's what we're trying to analyze with each individual player, and then we go back and introduce strategies to improve their ability to score. Once we work out what's inhibiting their
I guess-
ability to do that.
I played professional pool billiards for many years. I postponed it for a while when we got into the Hamboka business, and I was teaching and training, what have you, people who wanted to come on and play. But not everybody felt comfortable just getting right into playing into like even just a small tournament. They wanted to just be there by themselves in a corner of a billiard hall and just learn their stance, learn their strokes, how to maneuver what is English and how to maneuver on the. So for me as a billiards player, when I see that institute, I think it's an incredible institute, and the people behind it over in Thailand. I know you're probably watching and listening. You did such a fantastic job, and we do wish you all the best and success out there in Thailand. I would like to have gone through the program just for a peace of mind or comfort before I would go out on the field, because I feel like if I jumped out in the golf course, not having any experience, I think it would be a little overwhelming for me. I think that's something that I could use just to kind of break through, and then I'll say, okay, call up Vern and say, Vern, okay, this is what I've learned. Now take me and advance me, but this time out on the golf course. That's for me. I think that would.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, the fact of the matter is it's how most golf is trained all over the world, right? I mean, the vast majority of people start off with driving ranges and putting things and learning the short, playing on the short courses with the club selection and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, I never learned more about golf, though, frankly, than when I played with caddies, good caddies, not bad caddies, but when I played with caddies who actually knew what they were doing and would say to me, do this and then use this club and try to do this a little bit more. That was the most helpful thing that ever happened to me in golf. I mean, I'd never gone out with a pro to teach me. It's just sort of, I'd always just knock the ball around my parents and then gone with clients and just whack the ball and try not to be a total embarrassment. But when I went a few times with caddies, and those caddies were good caddies who would be like actually helping you do good, it was incredible. It was a real difference in the game.
No.
I mean, that to me, and I think that's kind of what he's talking about. Like, you got to be out there and play. You got to be in a condition where you're sitting there next to the sand trap and trying to get out
get that
and whatever,
get
not
that
just
challenge.
Simulating,
Yeah.
So I think there was a real breakthrough for me. That was when I got a bit better at golf.
Mm-hmm.
Never got good, but I got better than terrible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And do you have one of the videos that we can play? We have two, but we're gonna play the first one here, and this is Gene interviewing the owners behind Golf Town.
Oh, none.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay.
We're up here at the practice bay in Golf Town, Bangkok. So please explain to me what is this facility is for, what it's used for.
Yeah, so the practice bay at the Golf Town has 4 bays. So it has very good technology, such as flight scope and also swing catalyst, which you can, with swing catalyst, you can monitor your swing closely. And with flight scope, you can look at your ball flight. So they're very good to essential technologies to use to improve your swing. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I see a gentleman here. Can you explain a little bit about what he's doing here?
Yes.
You want to change the angle here? You want to explain
it's okay.
what?
And then we'll.
We
come back to
this one. So he's just this is his ball flight.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see here is the ball flight, how he's hitting the shots, and all the data down there, the numbers that all good golfers need to know to improve. Yeah.
Would you mind demonstrating for us? Sure. Thank you.
He's a very long hitter, so
What is
you'd
your
be
name?
amazed.
Tim. You're in the Hemp Poker Show out of Florida, USA. Thank you for demonstrating this for us.
He's one of the upcoming longer hitters. Yeah. So yeah. Are you going to compete in the long drive too?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, cool.
When would that be? Next year?
Is that next year?
The competition in Thailand, yes, next year.
Cool.
But I might go to Australia in like a few months.
Awesome. Okay.
Wow. That's great. Thank you very much, Tim, for that demonstration.
Yeah. So you can. That's the ball flight and all the good numbers that.
What
see,
numbers are you looking for? What is a good number?
So with the driver, the smash factor here can go as high as 1.5 or even more than that. But a good range would be 1.41. Oh, sorry, 1.48 and up. Yeah.
So
that's a good range.
At 1.42.
1.42. So not his best, but yeah, I'm sure you can do better. Yeah.
Yeah, I put you on the spot. I'm sorry. So thank you. Okay. Should we move on?
Yeah. So that's the other base.
Screen?
Those are the other bays. Yeah.
There are 3
so
bays for
there's
practice.
4 bays. Yeah.
4? Okay.
Yep. So let's take a look downstairs.
We'll move on.
Yeah.
Right. Follow us.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So hope you enjoyed that video. We're going to go to commercial break. We'll talk a little bit more and then get into some CBD news. And then we have another video that Gina shot out in Thailand. The Hemp Focus Show live from Delray Beach. We'll be right back.
Experian Travel, a subsidiary of Cruise Planners Travel Advisor, is merely a selling agency and makes no warranty expressed or implied. Each cruise planners is individually owned and operated. Experian Travels and Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and a very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. Our travel advisors will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. We specialize in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation just for you.
One of the key principles we like to teach our members at Phil's Stock World is be the house, not the gambler. Stand around a casino, and every day you'll see thousands of people walk through the doors and play various games of skill and chance, and yet none of them are likely to ever be as rich as the person who owns the casino. That, over the long run, the odds are always in his favor. This is not gambling, it's a mathematical fact. How would you like us to teach you how to use this simple mathematical concept to turn investing from gambling into earning by teaching you to be the house? This is the key to learning how to be a true investor in the stock market and not just a hapless trader of stocks. Or, to sum it all up, we'll teach you to be the house and not the gambler.
90 or 100 charge.
Yeah.
No charge this year.
Well, we're back with the Hemp Focus Show live at Delray Beach. I mean, as you can see, the simulator, though, really kind of details your shot. And forgive me, I have no idea anything about golf. We got the expert here, but for me, I think, it would be really cool walking into that facility and be like, okay, let's try it out. Let's see, what my strengths and weaknesses are. But I get what you're saying, that there's different ways of learning golf, but you feel the more effective way is getting out there on the...
Well, not only is it understanding the numbers that are there, but as soon as you look at what came up on that screen, and I assume that Thailand's in meters, then, this guy didn't even stand on the driver and it says 308 meters. And and I didn't see the club head speed, but it would have been interesting to compare those two, because there's no way that it went 308 meters, but it does on the simulator. But I can assure you, when you get outside on the course, it might go 250. So now we have an issue.
Right. Okay.
And as I said to you during the break, that one of the most important things we work on is a player's ability to know how far each shot goes, and then what shot to play within the conditions. And the conditions are outside conditions on different courses in different countries.
Right.
It's one of the major learning curves of any of our players, from junior all the way through to senior tour.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have the other video queued up? Yes. All right. So why don't we play that, and that way we can kind of move on to some updated CBD information.
Welcome everybody. This is Jean from the Hemp Focus Show out of Bangkok, Thailand. We're here at Golf Town, Bangkok with Note and Pham, the owners of Golf Town, Bangkok. Hello gentlemen. Thank you for your time. I know you're busy at the event. This is a putting event that you have regularly, or is this just a one-time?
This is actually the first time that we have the event like this. And we have a lot of competitors, about 100 players.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so quite successful today.
Oh, that's interesting. So thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
Please tell me a little bit about how you guys met and where this came about.
I used to be his student, so I learned golf with him. And then after we learned for a while, I had an idea that I want to have a place that has everything, and I see his quality in teaching. So I think he's one of the best in professional in Thailand for teaching. So I have an idea. I think we could create something special, and we came up with the idea of having this place together.
I was thinking, how long did it take from the thought to reality?
I think a year, around a year,
Wow,
because
that was quick.
we had to come up with the idea of what we should have in here. But he's expert in teaching, so he knows what he wants in his school, in his academy.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you have in this facility?
Yeah, actually this facility has physiotherapist, has the practice bay, which is upstairs, and downstairs is my academy called Golfing Ground Command Center. We have 5 bays here. We have the latest technology called Gears. Gears Golf is the optic capture, which have sensors on your body, so you can see everything when you swing, like the angle, how much you turn, how fast you hit, and all the things that golf professionals need to know. And also we planning to have upstairs. We still have some rooms, and we're looking to have a fitness center here.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah.
Because I toured the facility, which we'll tour
Yeah.
in a little bit after the interview.
Yeah.
But this is a beautiful, beautiful facility. It is huge. This is one of a kind here in Thailand,
Yeah,
correct?
I think it's the first one that has everything in place like this. Usually the golf school is in driving range or in the they have some indoor golf school, but just the golf school, not fitting center, not physiotherapist, not fitness center in the same place. So I think we are the first one that have everything in place. Yeah.
One-stop shop.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jean from Thailand, from Golf Town, Bangkok. And thank you very much, Nod and Fem, for being here. So we'll sign off. I'll see you guys back in Florida next month. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Jean from the Hempoka Show, and we are here with Pro Non.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay.
We're up here at the practice bay in Golf Town, Bangkok. So please explain to me what is this facility is for, what it's used for.
Yeah, so the practice bay at the Golf Town has 4 bays. So it has very good technology, such as flight scope and also swing catalyst, which you can, with swing catalyst, you can monitor your swing closely. And with flight scope, you can look at your ball flight. So they're very good to essential technologies to use to improve your swing. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I see a gentleman here. Can you explain a little bit about what he's doing here?
Yes. Oh, he's this one. So he's just this is his ball flight. So you can see here is the ball flight, how he's hitting the shots, and all the data down there, the numbers that all good golfers need to know to improve. Yeah.
Would you mind demonstrating for us?
Sure.
Thank you.
He's a very long hitter, so
What is
you'd
your
be
name?
amazed.
Tim, you're in the Hempoka Show out of Florida, USA. Thank you for demonstrating this for us.
He's one of the longest, upcoming longer hitters. Yeah. So, yeah. Are you going to compete in the long drive too?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, cool.
When would that be? Next year?
Is that next year?
All right, well, there you have it. Golf Town out of Thailand, Bangkok. Gene, want to thank you very much for sending that video out. It was very informative, educational. We appreciate it. Anybody's interested in, who's big into golf or is going to go to Thailand, or in Thailand, go to thegolftown.com. It's a great facility out there. It's only been a few weeks old. They just opened about less than a month ago. So anyway, thank you for joining us, Dean. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your trip. And thanks for your input, Vern. I know you're the expert here, so we appreciate it very much. So I've been approached on something, and I want to get your feedback on, especially you, because you, Phil, are on the other side of the spectrum when it comes to CBD and marijuana. So somebody had reached out to me, and after reviewing the website, what have you, and noticed that on there, and I have mentioned a couple of times where I would say that CBD alone is considered non-psychoactive, and compared to cannabis, right, or marijuana, because, and the reason why is because the THC level in a hemp plant doesn't exceed the 0.3%. But not only that, when you have products that are no THC, those products are made usually from the hemp seed oil because there's zero THC in there. So the interpretation on that, and just from the research stuff, I look at it that as a non-psychoactive. But what the rebuttal is that, well, when you have, because it gets into the endocannabinoid system and the receptors, where you have THC that binds with the CB1 receptor and the CBD binds mostly with the CB2 receptor. And when that happens, it creates a psychoactive, and that's what makes people feel either high with marijuana, or they're taking CBD with the hemp CBD, where they're just feeling better. The feeling better part, they consider that as being still psychoactive, and I'm in totally disagree with that.
Well, I mean, it depends. Well, look, I would say they're right. It is psychoactive, if you want to call it that. If you want to define psychoactive as something that engages with your not a psycho, but whatever you call it, your physiological systems. Obviously, it does. That's the whole point. Why would you be taking it if it didn't do something? I think you're looking at psychoactive as the negative thing, as something that interferes with your mental properties or impairs you in some way or whatever. Whereas this is simply, I would say, if anything, CBD probably it reduces the you should know this. It reduces sort of like the speed of the connections that cause pain and such in your body. It like slows things down or eases out those electrical impulses somehow. I'm not quite sure what it does exactly, but it certainly dulls out those receptors. And also relieves the anxiety. I let Vern's thinking about it.
Pain is a very interesting thing because the brain sends down the pain.
They're sending signals, yeah.
But if you're in a flight and fight syndrome where you have to, or you're in war where you have to escape, there is no pain.
Right.
So it's a
well, it's like people
very,
go,
very
I've been
difficult
shot,
system to
like,
understand. Yeah. Well, they can be shot and feel pain, but if they get shot and then they have to run away,
that's what I'm saying. And at the end of
they don't feel any pain.
At the end of the sequence, they go, damn it.
The brain inhibits that ability to feel pain. So it's a very complex.
Well, that's who is it?
System.
Sarnoff, the bat guy, who basically says pain is a choice you make. That it's something that you can train your mind to shut it off and to say this is not. You can acknowledge the pain. I believe in this actually. This is something I've actually. I was into this for a while in college. It was kind of cool, but there's a meditation technique where you accept the pain and move on. So if you have things that bother you chronically, or even if you're in a situation where there's pain, like guys who walk across coals or whatever, you can accept the fact that there's pain. You can't deny it; it's there, but you accept it and then push it down and say, okay, I know I'm in pain, but I'm going to still do whatever anyway.
Right.
And it's very interesting how much control you can really have over your body like that. But I think this, maybe helps a little bit is what happens.
They did a placebo effect study in Australia with the burn victims from the Bali bombing, and they were able to stop their pain with a placebo. So, but they believed that they were taking something to dull the pain. So it did. So as I say, the brain sends down the pain.
Yeah.
It's a very, very complex system, and from a psychological point of view, I'm not sure we completely understand it yet.
Right.
No, I think it's weird. I think it's really weird to me how little we understand about in medicine and stuff. How the incredible gaps we have in knowledge of something we've been studying for
Central
1,000
nervous system
years.
is very, very complex.
But you think we'd figure it out at some point?
Well, but how do you measure it?
I don't know.
I
just figure there must be people who would know that.
In Israel is where they, back in the early 90s, where the endocannabinoid system was discovered. We were taught 11 systems throughout school, 11 different systems in our bodies, and now there's 12. And when I'm reading
it's like
through
planets.
Yeah, when I'm reading through, it's like all of us are really trying to grasp and understand how the endocannabinoid system works. Now we're getting into some terminology. so I guess there's a terminology where it's called non-toxicated is what they're saying that the right terminology should be surrounding CBD. That you can't really say it's non-psychoactive. And so for
again, if you're going to define psychoactive as something that is interacting with your with your whatever system that would be called, physiological system, then of course it's psychoactive. That's the whole point.
And you can't have the two sides where someone can immediately take it and they feel no pain. So obviously it's a placebo effect. Versus then if they feel high, they choose to feel high. Mm-hmm. Is it the drug or is it
So for a fact though, I mean, for a fact of me experimenting life, I've had somebody, I've had a pop brownie or something like that. I didn't know it was a pop brownie. You're high. You are not. You realize, whether somebody tells you or not, you're like, holy crap.
I can only imagine.
And I don't take other kinds of drugs, but I know people who've been given things that like had acid in them or something like that, and they find out they're high because they're high. They don't find out they're high because somebody says,
But this is a different. This is a different beast.
Yeah. But I think, with CBD, it's a milder effect, so it's harder to tell whether something's there or not. You've taken it generally. You're trying to fix yourself. There could be the certain amount of placebo effect, of course, in anything like that. Mm-hmm. I've always had that interest in the meditation and everything else, and I've had this freaking nerve thing in my leg for 6 years now. And it just fascinates me. I've been experimenting. I use the gummies.
Yeah.
Those piggy
piggy
gummies, and I take those usually. Sometimes I'll take the oil straight because it's like a bigger boost. But I take them and I watch, and it's fine. And I can right now, nothing at all. I mean, 5 years of always having something. There's always been a tingling or something in my leg, and it gets worse and better depending on different things. Right now, nothing. It's so crazy that happened. And I tried not taking it and just concentrating and whatever. And before this, I tried 1,000 things to get rid of it. Nothing ever worked. And this freaking CBD works. It's just, it's odd. And meanwhile, we see people with fibromyalgia, people with epilepsy, things like that. Right. Nothing ever worked for them, and this works. It's hard to say that's a placebo. They sure wanted things to work before.
I was meaning in the case of whether they feel it's psychoactive.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying as a concept, it's sort of like, it's interesting to me. It's like there's obviously going to be both sides.
There's obviously an effect that it has on epilepsy. There's no doubt. Yeah. But whether we understand the mechanisms that are involved,
why is this working?
I don't think we do yet.
That's what's weird about it, though. Why is it we now understand quantum physics, but we haven't figured out how the human body works? That's really annoying.
It's not so much the human body; it's the human brain that is very, very difficult to understand.
I guess just like everything else in this industry, there's so many contradictions going on. There's just you're going to have both sides, like you were saying. You're going to have both sides, but
it's also frankly because we aren't allowed to experiment on people, it's frowned upon. But that would probably they don't get a chance to advance things. You need to do a lot of experimenting.
But we will be allowed to experiment on people.
What?
Eventually.
Are you making an announcement?
when the pharmaceutical and the medical industry start to make money from it, we'll be allowed to.
Yeah. But when hemp was moved over from Schedule 1 to dietary supplement, in the Farm Bill, it's really subliminally telling you that this is a non-psychoactive, non-toxicated product. That way, it would not impair you. Mm-hmm. Because if that were the case, then it would still be on the Schedule 1. That's how.
Well, look, you're saying psychoactive now, and it's a weird thing when you start trying to now define psychoactive, because chocolate is psychoactive. I mean, it gives you a feeling. It causes a certain kind of euphoria in a person. Sugar, whatever. It's like you get these highs from having sugar. There's a lot of ways to say that. I think it's better to use the non-psychoactive, though, to explain the concept of what the difference between CBD and THC is.
Exactly.
Regardless of whether it's the proper use of.
That I agree with. And that's what I'm getting from the feedback, because when THC has a minimum of 20% or higher than the hemp plant. So I think the feedback that I'm getting is that they're interpreting psychoactive, non-psychoactive, meaning impairment versus non-impairment, not so much just getting a feeling or a reaction to it. You know, because all we knew before all this came out, I mean, prior to that, it was just nothing about marijuana or THC. It wasn't anything about hemp. So when you go out there and I still talk to some people about CBD and hemp, they think it's a drug. They like, I don't do drugs, or no, I don't get high. I used to do that, this and that, and you know, it's going to take many, many years for.
It's just a stigma associated with marijuana that certainly is going to be on hemp as well, regardless of whether it's accurate or not.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true, and
you know, oddly enough, I like poppy seed bagels. I don't take heroin, but you know, it's not all bad. No, it's not all bad. But yeah, I mean, you know, we're all learning. I'm learning too. But it's great to get the feedback from it. But I just wanted your take on what you think. You know, because you're involved in the medical marijuana side of things. You know, so you understand the difference between the psychoactive, non-psychoactive. Well, don't forget though, with medical marijuana, we embrace the THC. That's a different thing. Because in medical marijuana, it's the high that people experience for certain things, like the nausea associated with chemotherapy, you know, things like that, glaucoma. It isn't really. You're not getting the same effect from CBD, even full spectrum CBD
by itself.
Right. It's that THC seems to be an important component, and again, nobody can figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
But, you know, but based on just people's experimenting,
it's the extension of feeling better.
Yeah.
Is the major difference? You know, then
with all dietary intake, there's certain things that enhance the uptake of other things, and it's difficult to get inside the body and see what's going on. So THC enhancing the uptake of CBD is definitely a factor that we think we can prove, but it's still difficult to get inside the body of each individual and see what's going on, because even with the anti-inflammatory effect, it's trying to create an anti-inflammatory environment within the body. Again, it's difficult to get within the body and see the immediate impact of something that you're ingesting. So you're looking at it from a subjective point of view rather than what is really going on.
Right. I was in fact skeptical with hemp Boca. I liked hemp Boca. The original products were the 0.3% THC ones, which I thought was important because I think that I believed that you lose a certain link in the process by taking out all the THC. However, it turns out that there are very many people who only want the CBD and don't want the THC. And we actually created the Balance Sport product line to make the, you know, for that group. And it turns out actually though, I've been experimenting with the zero THC gummies. Those seem to work too, though. It's not that they don't work.
I was just going to say,
I was very skeptical.
The hemp Boca gummies are no THC.
Right. I was very surprised because I thought that they would be not as effective, but it turns out.
Okay. All right. Well, time for a break. Live for the Hemp Boca Show in Delray Beach, Florida. We'll be right back.
Boca, products of purest natural ingredients and providing a safe alternative method for relief from many symptoms, creating a healthier lifestyle without the use of opioids. Use Hemp Boca products for improved mental health and overall well-being. It's safe, legal, and non-psychoactive. Our pure and high-quality CBD is from clean industrial hemp, then extracted slowly over days to produce the strongest and most effective products on the market, made in the U.S. with no synthetic ingredients. Committed to bringing our customers the highest grade CBD oil on the market. Our industrial hemp, it's organic with no solvents and pesticides, gluten-free, vegan, full spectrum, and third-party double lab tested. Our top priority is your health and wellness, and we are confident you will love our products and the amazing relief so you can enjoy the things you love to do. Try our products and start living a healthier lifestyle. Hemp Boca. Good health and good sense are two of life's greatest blessings.
And we're live back in Delray Beach, Florida, at the Art Gallery of Delray. It's the Hemp Boca Show, and we're here with Phil Davis from PhilStockWorld.com and Mr. Vern McMillan from EBC, pro trainer in golf up in Palm Beach, right?
West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach. West Palm Beach. I always get that confused. Palm Beach, West Palm Beach. So we're talking about the CBD, defining it as non-psychoactive versus psychoactive or non-toxicated. And I think what you were saying as far as people taking the medical marijuana, do you feel that they're taking it more so now? Yeah, they feel, but it's to get that high. And does that high, is it the high? Are they more focused on the high to overcome what they're feeling from the discomfort or pain, or they really are?
Well, it's very confusing because there wasn't really a medical CBD thing until recently. It was really medical marijuana was a thing. Nobody was really pulling out the CBD. I didn't see it very much. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I've looked at it for a long time.
Yeah,
I'm different.
But it hasn't been a big movement for it
Not
the way
in
it
the
is now.
Not in the medical industry.
Right. And so a lot of the effects of medical marijuana that you wanted were fine with mostly or to the large extent the CBD. Again, I really feel that the one with the 0.3% THC, which is nothing. I mean, 0.3, for our pot company that we have in California. I mean, if it's 0.3%. You can't sell it. You can't do it. Nobody wants that. You want 20%, 30%, not 0.3%.
But it's an alternative to those that don't want the high.
No. I'm
right?
saying though, but I'm saying that people don't understand. They think they see that it has 0.3% THC, and they're like, "Oh, I can't have THC." That's not THC. All right, that's like when you have a bottle like this and it says 5 calories because it has a couple of grams of sugar in it or something like that, and you're like, "Oh my God, sugar!" It really is not much.
It's interesting because with a lot of the athletes, or all of the athletes I work with, they're drug tested. So we have to be really careful. They have
reasons, yeah.
Even with products like supplements that inadvertently might have something in them that they're not allowed to take.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the normal people seeking, seeking to get CBD. But yeah, absolutely, I understand. That's why we have Balanced Sport. In fact, that's why we named it Balanced Sport, to emphasize the sports aspect of it and to say this has none. None.
Right.
In fact, legally, it's supposed to be 0.01. 0.01% is to call it no THC, but our lab tests are 0.00000.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's like we have completely, I want to say completely, that would probably be inaccurate, but we have, to the point where the lab can identify it, we have eliminated the THC.
And the thing about it is that this product is a double lab tested, and it's third party. So yes, we're our labeling, our disclaimers and stuff, we always will say the 0.01%, but the fact of the matter, no more than that, right? That comes back, but yeah, that was the main reason why we did come up with Balanced Sports, because of the athletic industry. We know it's coming. We know that it's going to be regulated where you can take CBD, but it cannot have a trace of THC in it. And
it was a top concern of people who wanted our product, because they were saying, I don't really want any THC. They want the CBD. Everybody's talking about it, and it's a very trendy sort of thing, but people are afraid of any THC, which again I think is not. It's not necessarily something you should be worried about if you don't have an issue of being tested at work or in your sports. If you're not an Olympic athlete, it's probably okay.
But sure.
But again, it's going to take years before they actually can say this has this effect, this has that effect for sure. We're still in that sort of like a herbal remedy sort of phase of the of what it does. It's people know it works. You can get a million testimonials. A lot of people see the effect, but there's the body of scientific evidence is going to take years and years to come in.
Right, and the difference between the hemp CBD with THC and the hemp CBD with no THC is that the no THC products all derive mainly from the hemp seed itself. Because the hemp seed, when they crush it down into the hemp seed oil, that is 0 THC. the THC levels up to 0.3% are throughout the plant itself. So, and that's when we get into, how you get it, they always talk about the entourage effect, where you're just mixing, it's everything combined, and you're not taking anything out or isolating it. And they find that to be the most effective.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, it's true. I do agree with you. I find that the CBD and the THC is most effective. But what I think is most effective is that it prolongs your feeling. It's not a remedy, but your relief. It prolongs your relief.
The thing about it, Chris, is that the body recognizes food in its whole form.
Yeah.
It doesn't recognize food in single nutrient form. So the more you break down a whole food, the less the body recognizes it.
Yeah.
So in its whole form, it's always going to be more effective than breaking it down into single nutrient form, where you have to take so much more,
Right.
and it's still not as effective as the whole food.
Yeah, so true. But wanted to get into Mr. Phil Davis at Phil Stockworld. We appreciate you being with us last week, and really focusing on portfolio and just some education there. But wanted to kind of caveat into your world there as far as the weed stocks and things, and how things are going with the market, and what do you foresee as far as because I tell you, even this morning, I mean, and last week, just all these different companies are just popping up all over the place. I think I told you this last time. There's all these different IPOs, and they're just really trying to get people to come in and invest in this industry. But what do you see on your end that's happening?
Well, I as I said last week, I mean, we put together this portfolio. You put that up on the site, right? The trade I had for last week.
No. Didn't get the. That's all good.
Did I send it to you?
No, it's okay. But we'll get it. We'll get the information.
Okay. Anyway, so we picked the MJ ETF, marijuana ETF, that has a bunch of different pot stocks, mostly Canadian companies, and we picked that for the first trade for the hemp portfolio. I don't want to. I think that's fine. I think that exposure to marijuana is fine. And again, as I said, we have. By the time you're at the IPO level, by the time something hits the public market, everybody's made their money but you.
Right.
And you're not going to, you might make your money, you might get lucky, but the chances are that the value is fairly toppy at the point where you're coming in and buying something on the open market. Now, that doesn't mean the company won't grow over the years, but it's not likely to double, triple, whatever that you want it to do. Some stocks do, some hit the thing. And I think the best ones are the ones everyone's heard of. When you get into a stock like Uber or something like that, usually Uber and Lyft didn't do well. But when you get into a stock like Uber or Lyft that everybody's heard of, and people want it really badly, but also the problem with Uber and Lyft both, where they were huge IPOs, $100 billion for Uber, it's too big, and so you're not going to fill the demand. But when you have $1 billion company that everybody knows about, like a Tesla when they went public. Went public about $1 billion. A company like that, when people start buying into it, there's a limited supply of the stock compared to the number of people trying to buy it, and that's what causes it to surge. Still doesn't mean it's worth that much. Like Tesla right now is at $180, maybe $190 today, and they were at that 3 years ago. They haven't increased in value at all.
Right.
They shot up from their IPO, and they went up from 50, let's say, to 180 over a pretty short period of time. But they haven't made any progress since then. They did hit 300 at some point, but they went up and down and whatever. The value's just not there. So you have to be careful about investing in things, especially when it's a hot industry, because things tend to go in very, very overvalued. The biggest problem I see in the industry right now, in the marijuana industry, is that if you look at the business plans for the big pot companies, especially the Canadian ones, everyone has a business plan to grow more pot than all of Canada can possibly consume. So you have 4 or 5 companies each planning on growing more pot than the entire country consumes. So you have to say to yourself, gee, that's going to be an oversupply, isn't it? Now, they think they're going to ship it overseas. They think a lot of things. But meanwhile, as we see in New York and New Jersey, it takes a long time for laws to change in other countries. Very slow grind of laws changing. There's absolutely a movement to change the laws. But if you look at the movement of voting rights, if you look at the movement of abolishing slavery, all kind, there've been many movements in the world that take forever to roll out across various countries and various states. We had a whole freaking civil war over slavery, so it took it. So by the time we had the idea to abolish it, to the time we actually did it, was quite a long gap.
Yeah, with Gene over in Thailand, there, what we're trying to put together there is our products here. We don't need a prescription for or medical card, but over there, it's going to be considered a prescription. And so it's going to be you're going to have to go into like a drugstore or get through the doctor a prescription for anything that's related to marijuana or CBD. It could be CBD with no THC in it. But right now, the law is that you need a prescription.
Yeah. So, look, very much like electric cars. Yeah, it's like, obviously electric cars are the future. But that future is a long way away still. 10, 20 years before everybody's driving electric cars, and that would be even almost optimistic to say that.
And you're a big fan of ETF, right? I know why, but could you explain why that's a better way to kind of start if
I'm not a fan of ETFs in general because I think you can pick better stocks yourself. But when you're in an industry where almost everything is overvalued, there will be winners. In other words, there's 4 companies in Canada who are going to grow all the pot in Canada, and a couple of them are going to go bust, and a couple of them are going to take over the industry and make huge amounts of money. Don't know which is which, and that's where an ETF is your friend, because there you're buying a basket. You're effectively, when you buy the one ETF, which is an exchange traded fund, that then is a fund that holds other stocks for you. So it's got a basket of maybe 10 marijuana companies and a certain percentage of each. And that way, if any one of them, in fact, think about this, because you know what a 10-bagger is? It's a stock that goes up 10 times from where it is now.
Yes.
So if any single stock that they own 10% of, that's 10% of their portfolio, goes up 10 times, it justifies the whole portfolio at the price it's at now. If a couple of stocks go up and are very successful, and I think we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
I said if you had, in 1999, if you had picked up Pets.com and that grocery stock, which I forgot the name of, and Amazon and Cisco and Intel, you wouldn't know which of those 5 were going to be successful, but you would have been freaking happy now because you had 3 winners and 2 went bankrupt. Those 3 winners way more than made up for the 2 that went bankrupt.
But you pick and choose, though, because it depends on the industry that you want to invest in. You may not want to invest in an ETF. You may want to invest in one by itself, right? At
Phil Stockwell, we hardly ever will buy an ETF because we know how to pick a stock.
Yeah,
it's like I know, I don't want to buy the bad with the good. But in a nascent industry like this, it's early on where you really cannot pretend you know who's going to win and who's going to lose. It's like picking liquor companies after Prohibition. It's like, who knows which ones are going to move forward and become Seagrams or whatever. Right. You have no way of knowing. So you just say, okay, I think the liquor industry in general is worth putting money into, so I'm going to spread it around. That's what an ETF does for you. It helps you spread out the money.
Well, thanks, Phil. We appreciate it very much. You're always, you're very educated. It's enlightening to hear about what you're doing over there in Phil Stock World. If anybody's interested in learning about stocks, what Phil went over, go to philstockworld.com. A lot of information there, very educational. And Vern, I want to talk about EBC and how things are going on your end. You can just kind of update us and kind of, just share what you do and what is EBC all about.
Sure. We're just coming into the holiday season, so we're running a holiday program for all of the players that are school age through. And what we'll do initially with them is that we have a 19 skill test that all of the skills on there are directly related to your score. So any change in any of those will directly affect your score. So like a test for school, then they're tested on their golf skill. And then we work out which skills to enhance to improve their score the best and which ones to maintain. And I'll train them and teach them how to enhance all those skills. So it's not just about the swing, or I'm not going to do anything much with the swing other than posture and dynamic posture. Most of it will be the end result of how you do on each skill, and then, as I say, we'll work on each skill to improve their score. So we'll have them for the 3 months, and then turn them back over to their school programs.
That's great. And can you just share where you're located, how they can reach out to you, on a website or phone number or anything?
Sure. Phone numbers are best, which is 407-257-8974. And we're located at the Estates course in West Palm Beach, which is part of PGA National.
Oh, well, thank you. And thanks for being here today. Appreciate
you.
it very much. So I picked up on something that's pretty crazy, pretty funny. You guys into horoscopes?
No.
I mean, I'm not. I'm not. But now I'm not going to mention who, the person who wrote this articles, but there was a couple of them out there. But now they come out with horoscopes that include what CBD strain you should consider taking. So when's you're Leo? Or
no, Aries.
You're Aries? Do I have Aries? No, I don't have Aries. I pulled a few. It's Sagittarius, Taurus, and Leo. But anyway, so here they give you here's a Leo, right? So they I tell you the typical horoscope description on Leo, but then at the bottom it recommends what type of strain you should take. So
of pot or
it identifies. Yeah, it identifies what type of marijuana, what you should look for in the different in the different strain that coincides with your horoscope.
Okay,
so.
I mean, it's interesting.
So it says here, your monthly mission is to maintain Leo Flow, a hybrid derived of Afghani indica, and a purple tie, which are names of different strains. With a palette of sweetness, pine, and earth will serve you just as well as spiritual medicine. So I'm reading all this. It's like, wow, it's amazing what people are doing out there just to capture your attention and try to tie in.
Well, that's smart, though. Is that by a pot shop?
Yeah.
I mean, who's putting it out?
No, it's someone that just writes horoscopes.
Really?
And just came out with this
send it to me because I want to use that for my guys. I think it's fun.
Oh yeah,
it's a cool marketing thing. It's just fun.
In a here, for Taurus, it said, for your extra special birthday, bud is a strain popular on both coasts, the Himalayan Gold. It gets its earthy with hints of pepper and chocolate. This strain is in earth and enjoy. The power color is green after all. And it gets into the moderate, that has moderate THC content, and just a little bit of CBD gives that hybrid of a mellow brain and body buzz with a happy, relaxing, creative euphoria. Not a bad way to celebrate. So it's a few things. Yeah, but it's out there.
No,
so
look, the guys in California, they're so people as they get more experienced in the market and the consumers get more into the strains and so on and so forth. It is like that. It's like gourmet shopping. It's like a tea shop or a coffee shop, right? There's tons of different kinds. And they like to pick, and they all have their favorites, and they all have a different effect. So they feel that they all do something, this and that, and whatever. I mean, I'm a sucker for the herbal teas that have, Gypsy Cold Care and Throat Coat and things like that. I buy those because it's when I don't feel good, they make me feel better. I mean, I believe in that stuff.
I chose Sagittarius. I'm Sagittarius, so it says here, my main strain is indulge that famous SAG party mojo. You've earned it. With a moderate to high THC content called Pearl Scout Cookies. Is a custom hybrid made for serious smokers or to be microdosed by less seasoned connoisseurs.
You can't handle it.
I know. This is a happy, giggly smoke that will keep your spirits high even when dealing with career tensions. This danky strain has notes of sweetness and citrus and is unmistakably pungent, so prepare accordingly. That's pretty cool, though. But anyway, I want to thank you, Phil.
So you're going to smell like you're high.
I know. Well, I know. It's, what does they call it here? A Pearl Scout cookie. Oh, okay.
There you go.
We'll get to that.
All you campers out there, just remember that.
I know. But Phil Davis from PhilStockWorld.com, thank you very much for being a co-host. Gene, we miss you. You know, I know you're probably sleeping, but
come back one day.
Thank you very much for being here again.
Thanks, Chris.
From EBC. I love having you both very much. And thank you again for joining us. Hemp Boca Show every Tuesdays from 2:30 to 3:30 live in Delray Beach, Florida. Bye now.
Experian Travel, a subsidiary of Cruise Planners Travel Advisor, is merely a selling agency and makes no warranty expressed or implied. Each Cruise Planners is individually owned and operated. Experian Travels and Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and a very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. Our travel advisors will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. We specialize in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation just for you.
One of the key principles we like to teach our members at Phil's Stock World is be the house, not the gambler. Stand around a casino, and every day you'll see thousands of people walk through the doors and play various games of skill and chance, and yet none of them are likely to ever be as rich as the person who owns the casino. That, over the long run, the odds are always in his favor. This is not gambling, it's a mathematical fact. How would you like us to teach you how to use this simple mathematical concept to turn investing from gambling into earning by teaching you to be the house? This is the key to learning how to be a true investor in the stock market and not just a hapless trader of stocks. Or, to sum it all up, we'll teach you to be the house and not the gambler.
Hemp Boca. Products of purest natural ingredients and providing a safe alternative method for relief from many symptoms, creating a healthier lifestyle without the use of opioids. Use Hemp Boca products for improved mental health and overall well-being. It's safe, legal, and non-psychoactive. Our pure and high-quality CBD is from clean industrial hemp, then extracted slowly over days to produce the strongest and most effective products on the market, made in the U.S. with no synthetic ingredients. Committed to bringing our customers the highest grade CBD oil on the market. Our industrial hemp, it's organic with no solvents and pesticides, gluten-free, vegan, full spectrum, and third-party double lab tested. Our top priority is your health and wellness, and we are confident you will love our products and the amazing relief so you can enjoy the things you love to do. Try our products and start living a healthier lifestyle. Hemp Boca. Good health and good sense are two of life's greatest blessings.